The moment they laughed at my tears, I knew I was done playing the quiet one. My name is Sophie Hayes, I'm 30 and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. For years my family, parents Ellen and Richard, sister Claire, and my partner Ethan Cole, labeled me too sensitive, dismissing my feelings as weakness. At our last family dinner, their mockery masked as concern pushed me to my limit. I stood up, walked out, and never returned, rebuilding my life on my terms. My silence wasn't surrender. It was the loudest justice they'd ever hear. It started last fall at my parents' Raleigh home, the dining room warm with candlelight but cold with judgment. Claire, a corporate recruiter, bragged about her latest promotion, while Ethan, a marketing consultant, toasted her success. Mom turned to me, her voice soft but cutting. "Sophie, you're so sensitive about work stress. Toughen up." Dad nodded, chuckling. "She cries over everything." Claire smirked. "Still stuck in that dead-end art job?" Ethan squeezed my hand, his tone patronizing. "You're too emotional, sophomore." I wiped a tear, silent. They thought I was fragile, but I was planning my exit. The truth? I wasn't just an art gallery assistant. I'd been building a freelance graphic design business, creating logos and branding for Raleigh startups, earning $80,000 last year. My portfolio included designs for Blue Ridge Coffee and Oak Street Tech, with contracts proving my work. I'd saved $50,000, enough to start over. Ethan's text to Claire read, "Sophie's too soft to make it big." My best friend, Mia Torres, a small business advisor, knew my success. "You're killing it, Sophie," she said over coffee in Raleigh. "Why let them call you weak?" I gripped my mug, my voice low. "They'll see when I'm gone." Their mockery peaked at a spring barbecue. The backyard buzzed with Claire's work stories, while Ethan pitched his new marketing firm, Cole Creative. Mom sighed at me. "Sophie, stop overreacting to criticism." Dad laughed. "She's too sensitive for the real world." Claire smirked. "Your art thing's cute, but it's not a career." I smiled, hiding my anger, saving Ethan's text to Mom. "Sophie'll never leave her comfort zone." They didn't know I'd been offered a design contract with a Durham tech firm, paying $100,000. I was ready to walk away. The turning point came when I planned my departure. The dinner, set for late summer, would be my last. I'd leave Raleigh, move to Durham, and cut contact, letting my absence speak. My new life, freelance design, a new apartment, new connections, would prove my strength. I wasn't seeking a fight, but silence that screamed. The dinner, hosted at Ethan's loft, would be live-streamed by a local influencer, Jess Lane, invited by Claire. My exit would echo publicly, their mockery exposed. I prepared meticulously, knowing their dismissals could haunt me if I didn't plan well. I had my portfolio, contracts with Blue Ridge and Oak Street, and bank statements showing my savings. Mia had emails from clients praising my designs, calling me a visionary. My therapist, Dr. Lisa Grant, documented years of family patterns, noting their gaslighting. "You're not too sensitive," she said. "You're reclaiming your power." I nodded, my voice firm. "I'm done proving myself to them." I needed allies for my new start. Mia agreed to help me relocate, connecting me with Durham clients. "Your work's incredible," she said, sharing my portfolio with her network. I also contacted my mentor, Rachel Kim, a graphic designer who'd taught me branding. "You're ready to fly solo," she said, offering to refer me to her clients. Their support was my foundation. Claire's confidence wouldn't outshine my facts. I kept up the sensitive act, sketching at family gatherings while Claire texted, "Don't cry at the dinner, Sophie." I replied, "Just bringing dessert." They didn't know I'd leave that night. I practiced my exit line, simple but final. "I'm done here." I wanted freedom, not drama. I studied lease agreements for my Durham apartment, confirming I could move in days after the dinner. My savings and contracts gave me stability. The night before the dinner, I stood in my apartment, packing my portfolio, my $50,000 savings secure. I texted Mia, "Ready?" She replied, "You're about to shine." My family thought I was too sensitive. Tomorrow my silence would be deafening. Hey, if you're hooked on this story, hit that subscribe button for Revenge Line. We bring you epic family drama and revenge tales every week. Comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Stay tuned, because Sophie's about to walk away for good. The final family dinner at Ethan's loft in Raleigh, North Carolina, was days away, and I, Sophie Hayes, was in my apartment, packing my life to walk away forever. My family, parents Alan and Richard, sister Claire, and my partner Ethan Cole had labeled me too sensitive, dismissing my feelings as weakness for years. Their mockery at dinners masked as concern had pushed me to my limit. I'd built a thriving freelance graphic design business, earning $80,000 last year, with $50,000 saved to start over in Durham. At the dinner, I'd stand up, leave, and cut contact, letting my silence speak louder than their laughter ever could. I'd spent weeks planning my departure, knowing their dismissals could linger if I didn't execute it flawlessly. I had my portfolio with contracts from Blue Ridge Coffee and Oak Street Tech, proving my success. Bank statements showed my $50,000 savings, enough for a new apartment and freelance work in Durham. My best friend, Mia Torres, had client emails praising my designs as game-changing. My therapist, Dr. Lisa Grant, had notes on their gaslighting, calling it emotional sabotage. Ethan's text to Claire read, "Sophie's too soft to make it." I was ready to prove them wrong, not with words but with absence. I needed to ensure my exit was undeniable. I contacted my mentor, Rachel Kim, a graphic designer who'd referred me to clients. "You're ready for Durham," she said over coffee in Raleigh. "Why let them drag you down?" I nodded, my voice low. "They'll see when I'm gone." Mia connected me with a Durham realtor, Sarah Klein, to secure a lease. I sent an anonymous tip to Jess Lane, a local influencer live streaming the dinner for Claire's networking event. "The quiet one's leaving, watch the exit," I wrote. Jess replied, "Sounds intriguing. I'm filming." I wanted their shock broadcast to Raleigh's social scene. At a family picnic in July, I played the sensitive role. The park buzzed with Claire's promotion talk, while Ethan pitched Cole creative to guests. Mom sighed, "Sophie, don't cry over work stress." Dad chuckled, "She's too emotional for big moves." Claire smirked, "Your art gig's cute, but it's not real money." I smiled, sketching in my notebook, saving Claire's text to Ethan, "Sophie'll never leave her bubble." They didn't know I'd signed a $100,000 design contract with a Durham tech firm. I dropped hints saying, "I'm planning changes," but Mom laughed. "Changes? You're too soft, Sophie." Their ignorance fueled me. I needed allies for my new life. Mia agreed to help me move, sharing my portfolio with Durham clients. "You're a star," she said, forwarding a client email calling my work visionary. Rachel offered to introduce me to her network. "Your designs are top tier," she said, sharing a contract template. Dr. Grant provided a letter, documenting how my family's mockery impacted me. "Your strength is in leaving," she said. Their support was my backbone. Ethan's charm wouldn't outshine my facts. I prepared my exit for the dinner, planning a simple but final statement. "I'm done here." I'd walk out mid-meal, leaving my key to Ethan's loft on the table. My portfolio included designs for Blue Ridge's rebrand, with a client testimonial. "Sophie's work tripled our sales." I packed my apartment, leasing a Durham loft with my savings. A slide from my records, anonymized, showed Ethan's text to Mom, "Sophie'll never leave her comfort zone." My exit would be calm but devastating, proving my strength. I practiced in my apartment, pacing before a mirror, my voice steady. "I'm not sensitive, I'm done." Ethan tried to control the narrative. At the picnic, he pulled me aside. "Don't overreact at the dinner, Soph," he said, his tone sharp. I shrugged, arranging flowers. "Just bringing dessert, Ethan." Claire texted later, "Don't embarrass us, Sophie." I saved it, adding it to my records. Their arrogance drove me, they thought I'd stay small. Dad called, his voice stern. "Behave at the dinner, Sophie. Don't cry." I smiled into the phone, silent. I needed the live stream to amplify my exit. Jess Lane's feed would broadcast to Raleigh's influencers, exposing their mockery. I sent another tip. "The sensitive one's departure will shock them. Watch her leave." Jess replied, "Got it. Cameras ready." I wanted their dismissals seen by all. I also contacted Sarah Klein, confirming my Durham lease. "You're set for August," she said. My savings and contracts ensured stability. My evidence, portfolio, bank statements, texts, was backed up on a USB and cloud server. I spent nights refining my plan, reviewing my portfolio, its designs, my proof of worth. I prepared a post-exit email to clients, announcing my Durham move without mentioning my family. I wanted freedom, not drama. The dinner's guest list included Raleigh's elite, perfect for my silent statement. My lease agreement and contracts gave me confidence. The day before the dinner, Mia called. "Sophie, your exit's going to stun them." My heart raced. She confirmed my moment. I packed my car, my portfolio ready. I texted Rachel, "It's time." She replied, "You're about to soar." I called Dr. Grant, confirming my resolve. "They'll feel your absence," she said. I stood in my apartment staring at my designs. They called me too sensitive. Tomorrow my silence would be deafening. Hey, if you're loving this revenge story, smash that subscribe button for Revenge Line. We drop epic family drama and takedowns every week. Comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Stay tuned because Sophie's about to make her silence roar. The dining room of Ethan's loft in Raleigh, North Carolina, glowed with candlelight, packed with Raleigh's social elite and a livestream camera run by influencer Jess Lane. I, Sophie Hayes, sat at the table, my packed bags waiting in my car, ready to walk away from my family, parents Alan and Richard, sister Claire, and my partner Ethan Cole, who'd labeled me too sensitive for years. Their mockery at this final dinner, masked as concern, was my breaking point. I'd built a freelance graphic design business, earning $80,000 last year, with $50,000 saved and a $100,000 Durham contract. Tonight I'd stand up, leave, and never return, letting my silence be the loudest justice they'd ever hear. My allies, Mia Torres, Rachel Kim, and Dr. Lisa Grant, were ready to support my new life in Durham. Jess Lane's camera was rolling, broadcasting to Raleigh's influencer crowd. My family and Ethan sat across from me, expecting another night of dismissing me, unaware I was about to vanish. My evidence of strength was solid. My portfolio with Blue Ridge Coffee and Oak Street Tech contracts, bank statements showing $50,000 in savings, and client emails praising my designs. I was ready to prove my worth, not with words but with absence. The dinner began, Claire dominating with her corporate recruiter stories, while Ethan pitched Cole creative to guests. Mom sighed at me, her voice soft but sharp. "Sophie, don't get emotional tonight." Dad chuckled, "She's too sensitive for this crowd." Claire smirked, raising a glass. "To real success, not Sophie's little art projects." Ethan nodded, his tone patronizing. "You're too soft, sophomore." I wiped a tear, my portfolio in my bag, my car keys ready. Mia texted under the table, "You've got this." Jess Lane's camera zoomed in, capturing their smugness. The mockery escalated as dessert was served. Claire leaned in, smirking. "Sophie, still stuck in that gallery job?" A guest laughed. "Art's cute, but it's not a living." Ethan added, "She overreacts to everything." I stood, my voice calm but firm. "I'm done here." The room fell silent, forks pausing. I placed Ethan's loft key on the table, my eyes locked on his. "You called me too sensitive." "I call it strength." I turned to Claire, pulling out my phone. "This little art project earned $80,000 last year." I projected a slide from my portfolio, showing Blue Ridge's rebrand and a client testimonial. "Sophie's work tripled our sales." The gallery gasped, cameras catching Ethan's jaw dropping. I continued, my voice echoing through the loft. "I've signed a $100,000 contract in Durham. I'm leaving Raleigh tonight." Mom stammered, "Sophie, don't overreact." Dad stood, "You're being dramatic." I showed Claire's text to Ethan. "Sophie'll never leave her bubble." The room murmured, guests whispering. Jess Lane's livestream trended as Raleigh artists exit stuns dinner. I looked at Ethan, my tone steady. "You thought I'd stay small. I'm already gone." I walked to the door, my bag slung over my shoulder. Claire shouted, "You can't just leave." I turned, holding up my bank statement. $50,000 saved, Claire. "I'm not your sensitive sister anymore." Ethan tried to follow, his voice shaky. "Soph, let's talk." I shook my head. "You laughed at my tears." "I'm done talking." I stepped outside, the live stream capturing Claire's stunned face, Mom's hands trembling. Mia met me at my car, her voice proud. "You own that room, Sophie." The next day I moved into my Durham loft, my $100,000 contract with the tech firm starting. Jess Lane's video went viral with comments praising my exit. She showed them. Claire texted, "Sophie, we didn't mean it." Ethan emailed, I underestimated you. I didn't reply, they dismissed me for years. My parents called, their voices soft. We're sorry, Sophie. I replied, my eyes firm. Your concern came too late. My life speaks now. Raleigh News ran a story. Artist's silent exit shocks elite dinner. My Durham clients embraced me, my designs landing 2 more contracts worth $120,000. Mia and Rachel spread my portfolio, calling me Raleigh's breakout star. Dr. Grant sent a note. Your silence was power. I blocked my family's numbers, their mockery a fading echo. I stood in my new loft, my portfolio open, Durham's skyline glowing. They called me too sensitive. My silence, my departure proved them wrong. Hey, if you love this epic takedown, smash that subscribe button for Revenge Line. We drop the best family drama and revenge stories every week. Comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Thanks for joining us.